How you going? We're back again with episode 2, season 1
G'day.
of the Purgatory Progressives podcast. It's me, Otto Maxwell, and Kai Kutsau on the right hand side of the screen.
How's it
How you
going?
going? How's it going?
How's it going?
So start us off.
How's your week been, mate?
My week's been pretty good. Not not
Yeah,
not, not
fucking
completely
nice.
horrible.
That's what we like to hear.
That is what we'd like to hear.
It's
So to
pretty
start
shit
us off, you saw a
though. Still
tweet.
pretty shit.
Yeah, it is pretty bad.
Ah,
Lockdown.
yeah. Um, New South Wales Health made a tweet. I'm not sure when, but I only just saw it today. Um, it goes as follows. Public health alert. New South Wales Health has been notified of a breach in public safety due to an unauthorised protest that occurred despite lockdown measures. Due to ongoing investigation, there is a $50 reward per attendee identified that attended.
Yeah, I did see that
Let's get
actually.
through this together. Did you see that?
Yeah, I
So
did.
pretty much what they're doing is they're putting bounty on people who went.
Yeah.
Pretty much like, oh, if you know this person that went, then
Yeah, yeah.
let us know. We'll give you fucking
Yeah,
50
exactly.
bucks.
It's like snitch on your mates and we'll pay you. Like
Yeah,
I wouldn't. I would never be like, oh yeah, so and so went this and that. Now give me my $200. But
bullshit.
um, here's what
It's
really
it's
pisses me
it's
off
like,
about the thing. They're paying people $50 each to rat on people who are there, but they can't get their shit together to organise the funding for a vaccine rollout. The Pfizer vaccine, which should have been,
yeah, yeah.
everybody should have had at
But
least some sort of
what's
vaccination by now.
what's the most annoying thing about it though, is the fact that this is our money.
Yeah,
This is the taxpayers' money.
yeah,
It's like, how shitty do you have to be to do
yeah,
that?
exactly.
You fucking wanker.
It's like we pay our money to you.
Where we have a right to protest.
Yeah,
Like we're allowed to
so
protest. It's
more or
not
less,
illegal.
more or less, what's happening is you give the government your money, and then now that government is giving other people money to rat you out if you went to the protest, which I find is like a hilarious thing. So yeah, that's a
This
little bit
is
of it.
their way. This is their way of separating everyone.
Yeah, which is exactly what we don't
They're
need.
going, oh, these people who protested are like, oh, it's these people are all weird and shit. It's like, well, no, they're just questioning things which they have a right to do.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah, 100%. Um,
You can't just be a sheep and just follow everything because they're not always right, and most of
no,
the time
most
they're
of the
wrong.
time they're wrong. Yeah, definitely.
The
And
higher ups.
another thing that the media was doing, because everybody knows how the media has a little clasp on everybody's society as a whole. Um, they
Yeah.
were they were hiding the true amount of protesters that went. So that a couple media sites said a few thousand. There was one that said 3.5k, but there was something more like ten
Yeah.
thousand that went.
No, it was over 10,000.
Yeah,
I Yeah, over
which look,
10,000 for
it's a
sure.
problem within itself, but you can't really deny the right to protest because it is a thing. Look, I wouldn't ever do it because I really don't want to stay in lockdown for too much longer. But I,
Yeah,
I do understand why people want to go out and say, look, bro,
but
I'm
there.
yeah,
Do you know how twisted it is? How the government is making them look like bad people?
yeah.
They're not bad people.
They're
They're
like
just
your everyday
people
folk.
who they're logical thinkers. They look at, like, even a fucking 3-year-old could look at this situation and go, "This none of this makes sense. You're all fucking idiots." Pretty
Yeah,
much. And another thing with the protest, I saw um, I've got the video on my phone. It's of a group of people protecting police officers from the protesters. So
yeah,
protesters protecting the cops from other protesters who are maybe a little bit more
yeah,
violent.
yeah. Exactly. Because
So and they only show the video of, you know, that
of
one bloke who punched a horse
yeah,
under
but
the
I
fucking
was just about to touch
all
on
the
that.
like
You know the
yeah,
horse.
it's
You know he didn't actually punch the horse.
yeah.
The horse was deployed in
Yeah.
Manly the other day, like the day
Yeah.
after the protest, and it was fine. He didn't punch the horse, bro. It was just like a it's a symbolic shot,
Yeah, but
and
even if he did, it would still be fine.
yeah, exactly. Well,
Look,
nobody
it's
has.
not good that he even thought about it, but
Yeah,
like
yeah, but nobody
horses could have just fucked him up, you know?
nobody cares when like jockeys whip the absolute shit out of horses at the races, but then everybody starts caring when some guy punches a horse because what it's symbolic, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but if you
Yeah,
look,
yeah, no, I did
there's a
see that
cop
video.
in
Yeah,
the back.
protesters protecting police officers.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was
So
the main point
that's
of the
like
protest. That's what every protest
it's a
is.
peaceful it was a peaceful protest.
Yeah, it's a
That's what it
protest
was.
saying, look, I'm fucking sick of the way
It's
I'm
the
being
cop.
treated.
This is the problem. This is the problem. It's the cops that start a riot.
Yeah,
As
yeah,
soon as
I
cops
definitely
arrive,
agree with it.
people get all really
Antsy,
like
like
tense and
hang on.
shit.
Yeah, well, it happened to me in a different situation, but like as a protester, you're a group of people having a peaceful protest. You're trying to talk your issue, and then you see a whole bunch of riot police show up.
Exercising your right.
Yeah, exactly. Show up, and you're
Yeah.
like, hang on, this isn't supposed to happen.
No.
This was just supposed to be like a peaceful. It
Look, I
happened to
can
that client.
understand maybe. I can look, listen, I can
Yeah,
understand maybe like a couple of cop cars or something, or like,
yeah, of course, because there's
you
always
know.
going to be fuckheads. But
There's all
like,
no, I'm not like there's fuckheads at protests. They need to be put in line. I get that. That's where cops should, but not at that like scale. That was
yeah, and
unacceptable
at
and
the
disappointing.
remember the climate strike that we went to in Sydney. There was
Yeah,
a climate
yeah,
strike.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
All the school kids went to it, or
Yeah,
a lot, and
that was fucking awesome.
it was a great protest. It was so
I
cool.
remember we got out of school. We called your mum, and your mum was like, "Well, I don't know." And then you were like, "Kai's here," and you were like, "Yeah, right." I
Yeah,
remember
right.
you gave me the nod.
Yeah,
You know, I was like, "What's your mum saying?" And you were just like,
yeah. Well,
"Fuck yeah."
because like,
No, that was ace.
although I don't necessarily like, I wouldn't do it myself. Breaking lockdown. I just want to get out of this thing. I
Right.
got a life to live, but I
Yeah.
fucking love a protest, bro. I think it is the most amazing thing that our society
Exhilarating.
does. It's insane. Like, if you haven't ever been to a
Well,
protest
it's
before, it's
because
like so cool.
it's because we humans require human connection. That
Mm.
is it's part of our survival,
And we want to be
and it's in
free.
our DNA. Yeah, that's
Humans want to
the
be free.
fucking
We
because we're
don't.
animals, can't like.
Yeah, and like especially with the
Do you know what I
climate.
mean? So when this is also what I have a problem with the lockdowns is you're prohibiting. It's so unhealthy. This is not healthy for
Yeah,
anyone.
yeah. No, it is
It's
not.
not healthy. Mentally, physically, it's just so shit for you because
Yeah,
people don't maintain themselves. They get fat and
yeah.
dumb and sit down and do
And
nothing
they're
and just
lazy.
watch YouTube
They
all
lose
day.
their jobs,
Fucking lazy.
and
No,
another.
but this is the thing. This is what they want to do. This is the whole plan.
Yeah. Well, another
They're
thing that
trying to
they.
dumb us down. They're trying to dumb us down so we're like their little droids that just sit in a fucking armchair all
Yeah.
day.
Well, I mean, like another thing that they do is like, when you're separated from those basic human needs, you get depressed, and we're seeing that more people have died in
Bro,
the COVID
they're
lockdowns to suicide than
more.
actual COVID. You know?
Yeah, there's been more deaths because of suicide than fucking COVID.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
not maybe
Exactly.
not, but
No, well, I mean, like
like
in Australia, there definitely has been. But think about the poor Victorians. I like Dan Andrews. I think he's an alright bloke, but they
okay. Can we
locked
just
down
I
so
just want to
hard.
simplify. I want to simplify everything.
Yeah,
you know what the cold, right? Common cold, flu,
Yeah,
right? Whatever. Millions of people die from that a year, right?
yeah,
A couple of 100,000 have died this year, or actually last year, right?
mm,
And this year, a couple of 100,000.
yeah,
You compare that to such a common thing with millions of deaths a year, and then you look at COVID with a couple of 100,000. It's kind of like,
yeah.
why are we freaking out about it? And it only affects like the elderly population. Do you know
Kind
what I
of,
mean?
except for this Delta
So,
strain because
so
it's mutated.
it's a fucking flu. It's literally a
I
strain of the
100%,
flu.
I 100% agree. Like the way I see
It's a
COVID, it's a
fucking
granny
flu.
killer.
This is how it works. It's yeah.
It's just a flu with extra
It's like,
steps,
oh
pretty
no,
much.
Grandpa Ken smoked for 40 years when he joined the army, and now he's got crippling lung diseases and shit. Oh, and now he died of COVID. No, he didn't. He died from the fucking diseases he already had
Yeah,
in his fucking
exactly,
face. Do you
exactly.
know what I mean?
It's just like getting like a common cold. If you're on your deathbed in a nursing home, if you get a cold, you're fucking done. You know?
No, you're dead
Yeah,
because you're
exactly.
already dying. Like
Yeah, I
that's
know.
just the nature of life.
Um, yeah,
This is why some of the numbers are rigged because the people aren't dying from COVID. They're already in a hospital with having heart palpitations and like
yeah,
your
exactly.
lungs have collapsed. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like, of course you're gonna die from it.
yeah. Nah, and
Fuck.
using that as a
But
segue.
then,
Yeah, go
yeah,
on, go on.
no, but then, like, but then there was a chick in Australia. I'm not sure whereabouts, but she got the Pfizer vaccine, right?
Mm,
The first jab.
yeah.
Um, you know, great. Everything went well. She drove home, um, and she got home and just dropped dead.
Mm,
No, no, like nothing. She was fine. She just,
yeah. Well, anyway.
and then it happened again, and then it happened again to like five other people. So
Mm, I guess.
I don't know. Yeah.
Recently in America, that you know American football.
Yes.
So
Not a big
basically,
fan, but continue.
not a big fan. So there's a very very successful athlete in the NFL called Patrick Mahomes, and he's on a
Yeah.
$500 million contract. I'm just gonna say that again
Fuck.
for dramatic effect. $500 million over the span of 10 years. That's 50 million a year, with a large
Holy
with
shit.
a
That
large
guy's
portion of that
loaded.
guaranteed. So the other day he left preseason training camp and says that he will not
Right.
play another down in the NFL unless the Kansas City Chiefs change their name, which is the team he plays for, because it is
And why?
apparently the Chiefs is offensive to American Indian people. But I mean, I'm not that
What the
educated.
fuck? It's a football team, bro.
It's a football team, exactly. I get changing the
Like,
Redskins because the
what?
Redskins is a little bit derogatory, but
No. Mom, I'm on the phone. Can you not scream, please?
nah. But if you're getting paid $500 million, you know, to just throw a ball and maybe run it occasionally, and you're very good at throwing a ball, I don't think it's your responsibility to go and say, you know what, I'm not going to play because I don't like this team name. You know, I just wanted to touch on that really
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah. No, I'm on I'm on the same page.
Speaking of
I
five
just
hundred million
think
dollars,
taking things to taking things to too much to heart is
yeah,
stupid.
yeah,
Like
but
you don't have to be so tight ass about everything.
yeah,
Like can just chill a bit. Do you know how unhealthy stress is? And if you're stressed all the fucking time, it's gonna run you down. You're gonna get tired and
Mm,
exhausted because you're stressed all the fucking time.
yeah. But speaking about $500 million, I want to touch on billionaires. My my rationale with billionaires is that no man should have that much money. The second you get over fucking $10 million, what are you doing? You can retire. You can live your life just fine with $10 million. There's people out here who are exploiting the poor, and they're capitalizing so largely off that. No person needs $1 billion. I am all for their work ethic. I know
I
how
need a
hard
billion dollars.
yeah. I know how hard billionaires work.
Wait, you say all this, but then you go, but if I had $1 billion, well,
But if you had a billion
well then.
dollars, yeah. But really, I know Elon Musk used to work 144-hour weeks. There's no taking that away. But the second you get into like the hundreds of billions, the tens of billions, I really
That's when you can just like buy countries and shit.
yeah, there's some billionaires who are like good blokes. I like Elon Musk, you know.
Oh, he's with it. He's with it
Elon's
for
working his
sure,
wealth.
dude.
He's trying
He
to
knows
better
what
the
he's fucking
human
talking
existence.
about.
But then you get
He doesn't sleep, that guy.
yeah, and then you get little cunts like Jeff Bezos, who just wants to send himself up into space in a just wants to send
That's how he
himself up into
laughs.
space like a little wiener that he is, bro. You have 186 billion
Come on,
dollars.
Jeff, there's nothing to it. Pave the way, put your back into it.
Tell
Tell
us
us how.
why.
Tell
Tell us
us how.
how. Look at where you came from. Look at you
Look at where you
now.
came from. Look at you now.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
bro. It's like he he's using his money just for like little fucking little billionaire toys. Have you seen his yacht? No singular man needs a yacht that big, bro.
It's isn't it? It's like
It's a
it's
super
like
yacht. It's got a fucking helicopter pad on it, bro.
yeah. Isn't it like the size of like a football field or something?
Yeah.
Like
No, it's huge. It's
an
huge.
NFL field. It's
And
fucking huge.
nobody needs it. Just like the sultans in Saudi Arabia, who probably have more money than God, we just don't know because nobody has a really good
Yeah.
estimate on their wealth. Oil kings, and that's another
Yeah.
point of division in our human race. Oil, a little fucking liquid that makes cars go. Pretty much, we all care about so much, which I think is
Yeah.
so incredibly dumb. And this paper money, this little sheet of paper, has just completely absorbed our lives.
Yeah.
Everybody works to get
I
that
think
money.
diamonds and gold and silver are pretty cool though.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of cool. Little shiny yellow thing, but
Little shiny ting.
a little
Oh
shiny thing.
fuck.
but
Hang on, that was weird.
but yeah, like this little sheet of paper has just completely dictated our lives. We're so obsessed with the latest and greatest now. Like you know,
Yeah.
we both have iPhones, right? We both have
Yeah.
iPhones. But I know people who get a new iPhone every single year. Why? Because they're being told to. You
Yeah.
don't need a new
Well,
iPhone. I was
no,
rocking the
you don't
iPhone
need it,
6
but
until it fucking
somehow,
died.
somehow those big tech companies have figured out a way to um create demand from a want and not a need.
Yeah,
Do you know
and
what I
and,
mean?
and this
I
kind
mean,
of
I guess that's every big company. That's
yeah
why they're successful.
yeah because they push this thing of materialism, like Gucci and Louis Vuitton. I'm just going to throw those names out. They're not that great.
Yeah.
It's just a little logo that you're paying for.
Ooh, I mean, yeah, actually, they're not that great
They're not that great.
because
You can find something way cooler
when you
for a
buy a
tenth of the
bag,
price.
from Louis Vuitton, when you
It's a
buy a bag from
status
Louis
symbol.
Vuitton,
It's a status symbol. It's them
yeah,
telling
it's a
you,
status symbol, but it's also a symbol of going, hey, look at me, I'm holding a bag that a little girl in a sweatshop made in Vietnam. It's
yeah,
like,
exactly. They probably cost about $10 for
nice, bro.
materials, but it's 10 grand for you to buy. Like,
No, they use real materials. I just don't agree with their um ethical practices.
Yeah, and how everybody in our society pushes materialism so hard. Like I remember in year eight,
Yeah,
I was rocking the iPod Touch fifth generation. You already know
bro,
the vibe,
bro,
and
that was the shit. That was the
people
shit.
people pick on you. Because you have an iPod. Like, oh, you don't have an iPhone, you're like, you're
You were
below me.
always at lunch, at lunch and shit. You were always sec- at lunch. You were always like, "Hey, guy, you know what? Can you hotspot me? Fuck off!"
Yeah, cause I didn't have
It
data or
was such.
anything. Yeah, but like, and then people were like, "Oh, you got an iPod? What the fuck is wrong with you, bro?" Like, it's just, and this also factors into planned obsolescence, a new thing that companies are doing that like completely. It's like the once upon a time, you'd buy a washing machine and it'd last you your whole life. You'd buy a car, it'd last you your whole life. You'd buy a fridge, it'd last you your whole life. But then companies,
Yeah,
big
it's
ass
different now. It's
conglomerates are
so
like,
like,
oh shit, we
yeah,
can make this artificially, we can make this have an artificially limited lifespan so we can keep generating money out of it. Ooh,
yeah,
money. I like money. It pays for my children's private school education.
and my male gay porn.
Yeah, exactly. Oh shit, that's another thing that I really want to talk about. Um, moving on from consumerism, private schools,
Gay men.
private schools in
Oh,
Australia, more specifically the area that we live in, because our entire school system is dominated by private schools. Now, here's a fun fact:
yes,
private
yes,
schools get more, if not the same, if not more funding than public schools by the government. Did
from
you
the
know that?
government and public
From the government.
schools.
They get more.
Yep.
They get more money from the government. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because
But on
because
top of
like
that,
the Catholic Church and that, they like pretty much run the world.
yeah. But on top of that, you're paying 30 grand a year for your kid to go to this school. It's just such a
Yeah,
it's such a
yeah,
disgusting process. Schools don't need grounds like Shaw and like Kings and
yeah.
Riverview. You don't
Bro,
need a
they've got
suburb
them
for your
nice.
school.
It's nice though.
Oh,
It's
it's hella
nice.
nice. Yeah, I'm not taking away from that, but you don't need it. You know,
I
put
like
that
it,
money
but
into
I
welfare.
disagree with it.
Put that money into welfare for the
Yeah.
disadvantaged kids in rural communities. So maybe they can get a shot at a good education, break their family cycle of going to jail.
Oh, go to a fucking not a primary school, fucking public school. Like
Yeah,
they're the best.
yeah, exactly.
Like
Even if I make enough money to send my kids to a private school one day, I'm not going to, because
fuck that.
I completely disagree with
It's
it.
my fucking money.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll pay. You'll go to whatever school I fucking tell you
Yeah,
go to.
exactly.
You know.
Exactly, and I disagree with sending you to private school. So you can go to public school. You can get the same thing done. If there's a problem,
Not
talk to
even
your
the
teachers.
religion side of it. It's just like the teachers are shit at private schools.
Yeah, like the school that I go to and you used to go to. Um, it's
We were third in the state for
third in the
English in
state for
HSC.
advanced English in the HSC. That's beating selective schools. That's beating every private school. The only ones that it isn't beating is James Roos, because James Roos is fucked good.
Bro, you just look like a mong with your fucking suit on, cunt. Like,
Yeah,
what?
exactly. It's just some stupid tradition, and then, and then yet again with selective schools like James Roos, you know, I had a substitute teacher who taught PE at James Roos, and he said it was the hardest subject he's ever taught, because nobody knew how to play sport, and that's really really sad, because
Yeah.
Australia is known for being a sporty culture, like we're an athletic society. We
Yeah.
Parents encourage their kids to go play sport, which I'm all on. I'm all aboard for. You want your kid to be active, make friends,
No,
work on
100%.
teamwork. Teamwork's a massive thing that you need in a workplace environment. And yeah, it's just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like a whole bunch of these kids are just being brought up. No, do well at school. Nothing else. No friends.
Yeah,
No athletic. No sport. It will distract you from school. Like school. Yeah, school's important.
that's what's so twisted about the school system is like most of the kids' learning is done outside of school.
100%. And the most valuable.
That's why you don't remember anything. The only parts you remember about primary school and high school are the parts at lunchtime and shit, all the
Yeah,
weird shit that
exactly.
happen. And even if it isn't, even if the memory is in a classroom, it's some funny shit that the teacher
Yeah,
did.
exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like, no one remembers, oh, the passage about Egypt in the 15th century. It's like, no one.
Yeah, yeah.
Our
I completely
human
agree.
brains don't retain that information. We are, um, we like to feel emotions and touch and smell things
Yeah, we
and
do.
look
We
at
do.
them. Do you know what I
We
mean?
we
Like,
yeah, and like you can't. The most important thing that I think you learn at school is the social environment. That's why kids who go to homeschools are such fucking weirdos in real
yeah.
life. You've met a couple homeschool kids. They're fucking losers.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't like them because they've never been taught how to
No,
manage
I
themselves in
just,
a social environment, and that's the most important thing that you need
yeah.
in a human society.
Well, yeah, because then you just become I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know. It works for some people and it doesn't for others.
Look, I get I
It
get it.
wouldn't
I
work.
get it if you're getting
It
bullied at
wouldn't, it
school.
wouldn't work for, it wouldn't work for you, but it probably would
It
work for me.
God, mate,
Do you know what I
it
mean?
would never work for me. It wouldn't work for me if I had
It
kids and
wouldn't
I had
work
to
for
start
you.
to school them. I'm not doing that. You're going to school.
You love having
Suck it up,
you love
buttercup.
having a master. You love having a master.
Yeah, and it's funny. You have so many good moments at lunchtimes, recess, after school, before school. When
Yeah, it's fun. School's fun, man.
yeah, it's you're having the time of your life, and you're 16. And while you may not like it, like in the minute, you'll look back and be like, "Damn, that was a good part of my life." And yeah,
No, but it's more like no, you're more. I don't know. I guess especially people our age are like, oh, I can't wait to get my own car and I can't wait to move out. I'll be so free. I can stay out however late I want. That is complete bullshit.
mm,
First of all, you got to pay rent. You got to pay income tax. You got to pay other taxes. You have to service your vehicle. You've got the pink, green, blue, whatever fucking slips
yeah,
for your vehicle, tires, rego, and everything. How are you going to get that money? You got to work. So you can't stay up late. So you go to bed early. Can't go out. You're working every day,
yeah.
flogging yourself,
Becoming a
and then you
slave
get
to
to
the
the
corporate
weekend.
world, mate.
And then it comes to the weekend and you're like, "Yay, I get to party." But I'm fucking exhausted because I've been working all week to afford the car and the house that I live in.
Yeah,
You're less free as an adult than you are as a child.
yeah, exactly. And kind of like on a side note, although it's kind of linked, Japan. I kind of want to talk about Japan because
Yeah.
Japan is a very interesting society. I, it, you, it's such
I think
like
it's sick.
it's sick, but you got a whole bunch of conservative people living there.
It's like futuristic
Yeah,
almost. Just the style.
and because you're being told to repress like your outspoken things, you start becoming a weird cunt. Like their age of consent is 13 in Japan. You know,
Yeah.
you know. But on the same note, there's a lot of
And
things that we can look.
and what's wrong with that?
Okay, chill.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. That's fucked up.
Yeah, no, but fuck. Um,
Yeah.
we can also take notes from their society, like that they live the longest out of everybody in the world. They have the
Yeah.
cleanest energy. They have some insanely hygienic practices. They have one of the best public transport systems in the world. And there's
Yeah,
just so much that we
they've
can
got
look.
shit going on.
There's like so much that
Get
we can look.
inspiration from, like,
Yeah, they eat fish their whole lives, and rice, and they have a really healthy diet. And what else is there? There's
their obesity. What's their obesity percentage?
the
Let
only
me
obese
see.
people are fucking sumo wrestlers. You know,
Yeah. Hang
it's
on.
low. It's frowned upon, which is a little
Um.
bit weird. But that's what makes our society so great.
Yeah. All right. Damn. They've
What
got a
is it?
low number, man. Okay. Um.
What's the number?
Okay. According to the 2000 National Nutrition Survey conducted in Japan, the percentage of overweight adults body mass index was 26.8% among men and 21.3% among women, while the percentage of obese people was 2.2% for men and 3.5% for women
Wow,
among Japanese adults aged 20 or older.
wow,
So they've got like, there's like 2% of men who are obese.
2%. If you look at a room of 100
2.2%.
people, if you look at a room of 100 people, there's fucking two of them who are overweight. And you look at somewhere like America, and there's probably about 60. You know, and that's all because of diet, because they're eating well. And you should see them. That you know how, like, in Australia you got trees on the road, and then they start growing into the power lines,
Yeah.
and then these, like,
Yeah.
fucking trigger happy mongs just come in here and go zoo, 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 with their chainsaws and little motor toys,
Yeah.
and then it looks like shit.
Tree lobbers.
In Japan, they have
Yeah.
these men who dress up in white suits and just trim the fucking trees so delicately, you know, and it's just
Yeah,
like,
because they respect life, bro.
yeah, you look at it and you're like, wow, I wish I had a society like
Holy
this.
shit.
What?
In the United States, 36.5% of adults are obese. Another 32.5% of American adults are overweight. In all, more than two-thirds of adults in the United States are overweight or obese.
Yeah, and that all comes down to diet,
Two-thirds! Two-thirds!
and that also
What
factors
the
into
fuck?
consumerism, because you get big franchises like McDonald's coming in and saying, hey, this is cheap, you're a struggling family, you know. Like,
Oh shit. Australia is really bad too.
Australia is pretty bad.
We're
Yeah.
I think we're like second or third in the world for obesity.
Yeah.
Um,
But if you also go to Japan and you look at the streets are spotless. You go out to, say, in a town or something, and cigarette butts everywhere. It's all dirty.
yeah,
You should see their subway stations as well. It's spotless, and that's because
yeah,
everybody's in together. They're all building together, and they're like, we don't want our fucking society to look like shit. We're all like, you know what? We'll all do our own thing. We'll all put
yeah.
in. I'm not saying it would ever work in Australia because we're an apathetic society, but
No,
it's just really
everyone's
just
fucking
interesting to look at.
selfish.
We have been
Yeah,
recording for 37 minutes. Is that enough?
yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
Well, thank you very
Laters,
much
everybody.
for tuning into season 1, episode 2 of the Purgatory Progressives
Yup,
podcast. I
yup,
hope you
yup, yup,
come
yup,
next week
yup.
for Wednesday. We'll be back on.
Maybe there'll be another one. Who knows?
Who knows?
But we'll do it if we want to.
We'll do it
So
if we want
fuck
to.
you.
That's the beauty about democracy. We'll see you guys all next
Indeed.
week. Hopefully, stay
Adios,
safe.
muchachos.
Drink water. Later.